All right, thank you. Thank you, everyone. So, all right, so today we're going to go through the CV. This is a CV review session. So for those guys that don't know how to do their CV, so we did this, we did a session last week. So if you go to YouTube, I think this the video is there, so you can watch the video. So, but I've got some CVs now that was sent to me. So I'm going to take it out in alphabetical order using the email addresses, okay? Alphabetical order using the email addresses. But I will use the email address that you use to submit the application, which might be different from the email that you put in your CV, so that we know that, okay, I'm going to be talking about A now. If you have used A to submit this particular application to me, so I will be reviewing that. So at least you know when your turn is going to come anyway. So that's the purpose. And also a brief, a quick disclaimer, right? I'll try as much as possible to give you pointers actually, and also insight to what a good CV should look like. But one thing, don't take my word as golden, right? So, and the best person that can review the CV is the person that want to employ you. Do you get? So, and also you can also get insights if you submit your CV and you are not getting interviews. That's another feedback that you are getting, that you need to work on your CV as well. So you, at every particular time, you would need to be reviewing your CV every time, and your CV should evolve. Normally I say that you should not, if you're started applying for roles, you're within 2 weeks, I think your CV should change, right? Not like you're going to change everything drastically, but the content and moving things across and everything should change. Okay. So of course, like I said, yeah. So take my feedback, but if you don't believe in it, so don't use it as well. So it's not like golden anyway. But and based on the fact that I've done this several times and I've got a lot of experience going through CVs based off my workplace, and also by the fact of I've mentored different people, and also I've done different interviews at work, and I know how a good CV should look like. And also myself, also I've done several interviews myself as well. So I think I'm in the right place to be able to do this as well. But one thing, use a CV that you are confident about. This is very, very important. Okay. All right. So the first person I'm going to review the CV. So even though I think this, I'm starting with A, but I think on your CV, your email address starts with O. On the CV, your email address starts with O, is a yahoo.com email address, and your postcode ends with 9NY. Your postcode ends with 9NY, and your telephone number ends with 830. Okay. So, all right. So, okay, talking about, let's start with the header of your CV. So I like your fact that you've kind of added authorization to work in the UK. You do not require sponsorship, which I think is good actually. But you now put nationality in Nigeria. I don't think you need that detail again. So I would say you should remove that. Okay. Then postal address. So I would say your postal address should be on one line, right? So I think it's going to second line. So make sure you address that anyway. So I think yeah, it's good. The profile looks good actually. So I can see the lot of buzzword that you put in there, and so which I think is really, really good. So I'm happy with what you put on your profile. Well done for that. So in terms of technical skills, yeah, based on what you've done, I think it's okay as well anyway. But the only thing that I can see, there's some technical skills that I am not seeing here, most especially the main application that I use for automation, Selenium. I can't see it there anyway, unless you are not you decide not to put in there anyway. But if you are putting C# on all those things, I'm expecting to see Selenium in there. as part of the skills. Look into that. And I think some of those ones, yeah, spec load, blah, all those ones also should come into that particular place anyway. Soft skills, in terms of your soft skills, so there's a bullet point that is vacant, nothing is inside. Remove that bullet point. I like the fact that you put it in 2 columns, which is good anyway. So then moving on to your education. So there's a line on before the education. Actually, after you put the MSc, you've got a blank line there. So I think you need to remove that. So in your MSc, you put the university, you didn't put the course. So I think you should put the course. The same thing with the BSc as well. You need to put the course as well. So I would say you should align, for instance, the MSc and the grad are on the same horizontal line, but the diploma that follows it is kind of a bit indented. So you need to align that. So, but one thing I can say, your first line should include everything up to that education. Try to make sure that you put everything together. Maybe on your technical skills, you can put them into 2 columns, if that's okay. So then, I think your header, you can reduce the header so that, yeah, everything can fit into 1 page so that your experience can start in the next page. So on the experience, so you have Blue Sky Citadel.com. So I don't think you need to put that. Just say Blue Sky Citadel. Blues. Well, we normally write the B in capital, the S also in capital, then space Citadel. So okay. So then before then, all you need to put the row. From there, you did not add any row at all. So what row are you applying for? So you need to add the row there. So let's say manual tester, automation tester, whatever your role is, actually, you need to put that. Then after that, the name of the organization, or whether if there's a format you want to follow, then the dates, right? The year, okay, from let's say, okay, maybe from May 2023 to present. Do you get it now? So you need to add the duration as well. Then also a brief description about Blue Sky Citadel. You need to add that. So I like the details of your responsibility, but before the bullet point, I think you should add responsibility at the top so that you know that you are talking about responsibility. You only added 5 responsibility. Like I said, I'm expecting maybe 8, let's say 10 to be honest, 10 to 15 responsibilities to be for each of the roles that you have. Then after that, if you could also add your projects that you worked on, that would be good, and the tools that you use on that particular project. I like the details of responsibility. It's really good using blah blah with blah blah. Yeah, then yeah, so which I think is good. Another thing, the second bullet points that you have, I think you actually kind of added 2 responsibilities inside. For instance, using blah blah, then up to web browser etc. Then you now started development. I think that you can bring that one down to another part anyway. So the next experience is the same thing applies as well. So you need to put the name on the role as well, the role on that particular job, and of course the name of the company is there, and you also need to put the year as well. So the name of the role is missing, the year is missing, the duration is missing, and then you need to also add a brief description about that particular company. Because what I found is like some people let's say you worked on prep major right now. We have a lot of companies out there that are looking for LMS applications, and they are developing that. The fact that you work in a similar company might give you an edge. That's the reason of that, doing that. So yeah, the same thing I said at the top, you need to do in this particular new role as well. And yeah, so if you put the project and also you put the tools on that particular role, that is fine. Except from that, I think it looks okay. If you can just make those corrections, I think you are, I can see that you are kind of like 80% ready. Just make those few corrections, you are there. Okay, the next person, your email address starts with A, and your postcode ends with 6JR. Your telephone number ends with 004. Okay, telephone number ending with 004, and your email starts with A and is a gmail.com email address, and your postcode ends with 6JR. Okay. And okay, so I think I might have to kind of, let's see, I just want to see how this particular CV will look in Word, because I'm using the window, the web version to see it. So because it seems is a bit small in terms of the text, actually. So that I just want to be sure. Yeah, 1 minute. I think I've got it right now. Yeah, I thought so as well. So the text is small. You use like 10 fonts. I would say maybe 10 fonts is cool. Some people can actually say it's so small. You get, normally I would say you should use 12 if that's fine. So yeah, but 12 seems to be, 10 seems to be small anyway, but it's not a showstopper anyway. So yeah, I think, yeah, the profile looks okay, but one thing I can say is the number of years, actually, I would say maybe just, yeah, be silent about that for now. I say blah, blah, with a track record of steering, blah, 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 then you remove the year. Do you get it now? So that's, yeah, because I don't, yeah, I'll just ask you, maybe just be silent about the number of years. So, but except from that, it seems it's good anyway. Skills and competence, it's fine. Technical skills, okay as well. To be honest, that's fine. You've already put a lot of skills there, which I think is really brilliant. So, education and certifications, that also is good as well. So okay, that is brilliant, actually. Yeah. Okay, so now coming to your experience, right? So this is good. The header, I like that. I like the, yeah, and also a brief descriptions, okay, which I think is fine, describing what Blue Sky is, so, and responsibilities. And so the only, I think, I don't know whether is you need to watch out for these, because I think I believe that the font is small, right? Because I'm actually squinting my eyes to see a bit of them. Some of us don't have that sharp eyes. So okay. So so I think it's really a bit dull, actually. So I'm not also sure whether it's if color as well. You need to look into that anyway. So hold on, let me quickly do something to see if I change the color to black. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I think the color also is not that black. Yeah. So because of that, it's a bit faint. I think it's a bit grayish for color. So you need to look into that. So put everything in black, bold black, not like a grayish color. So, but except from that, the responsibility, I'm expecting you to, I'm expecting you to add more responsibility, because I know you could, right? So yeah, but the one that you added is good, but I'm expecting you to add some buzzwords. Yeah, but of course you put some daily scrum, sprint review, retro, but there are other things that you could have added. Most especially things, those ones that you put in your tools, let it also appear in your responsibilities as well. Yeah, so basically, like, okay, how did you use all those tools? You put it in your responsibility to describe that. So, but that is good. Then the next row also is also good as well. A brief description about the company. And for this time around, you now put 5. So I would want to see like 10 anyway. 10 responsibility on both, I think, yeah. So, and the same thing apply to the third one. I like layout, to be honest. It's really, really good. So if you can just add those responsibility, which even in the internship, I can see you add a lot of things in as the responsibility that you've done. So just put them in there, right? And then, yeah, I think this CV, the layout is good. Change the color to make it black. And if you struggle with the time, if you struggle with the space at the top, I think your education, yeah, you put it in double space, right? So you can change that to a single space so that, yeah, you can, yeah, because if you change this to 10, 12 fonts, it would be bigger, right? So, but you can change the education to single line space anyway, which I think is good. And so, but except from that, I think it looks good. It's also neat as well anyway, which I think is brilliant. Yeah, whether. Okay, all right, cool. So I think that is that. So let's go back to the next person. Okay, so the next person, I'm still on A. I'm still on email A. Okay, email starting with A. So this particular person, your email starts with A. Your telephone number ends with 326, and your postcode ends with 5EE. 5EE. Okay, telephone email address starting with A is a Gmail email address, is a Gmail email address. The email ends with X. The email ends with X, and then the postcode ends with 5EE. Okay, so the profile. To be honest, I like the content. The content is good, it's rich, okay. But I think you might need to change the template, right? Because for instance, where you put the business analyst, I don't think you need that anyway. But how you put your name and email address in a box, you have another triangle with box inside. I don't think you need that. So I think you should take it out of the box. You shouldn't put any box there. Let them be there like that as a header. That should remove the boxes and everything. So, and yeah, but the profile seems good. Extend background, blah, blah, yeah. Okay, so that is brilliant. I like how you also laid out your skills in different formats and everything, which I think is really, really good. So, and one thing I want to also say, you need to be consistent, right? In how you separate those skills. Yeah, in the first one, professional skills, you put them in bullet points, which I think is good, right? In the next one, you use pipe, right? You need to be consistent. If you are going to use bullet point, consistently use bullet point. If you are going to use pipe, consistently use pipe. Do you get it now? And even in the one for the project management, you use comma. You use the first one was a bullet point, second one pipe, third one pipe, fourth one is comma. So you need to be consistent, okay? You need to change that. Then also the personal qualities one. So I think is a bit indented. You need to change that. But the content is good actually. So it shows that you've taken your time to put that in there. So which I think is good. So, but one thing I can say is project management too, right? I would because that can also throw some confusion actually, because project management and some of them are also kind of agile management too as well. So I would say project and agile management too. So yeah, so that it's kind of encompassing, isn't it? So yeah. Okay, all right. So yeah, so I think I don't know, because when you come to the experience, the content is there actually, which is fine, but I would say that maybe you need to look for another template because this template is all over the place actually, or maybe you've broken it or something. Yeah, so you need to look into all these lines in a box that, yeah, I don't know, you need to look into that. So, but I will kind of review the content based on what you've done. So I think, yeah, the title is okay with the dates, which is fine. Then one thing in terms of the first row that you put in there. So after you've given the name of the company, the date, and you put your row, and you now say designing, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So I think that one should be in the next line. Okay. And the designing, blah, 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 should be in the next line. So which I think is good that you put that in there, but put it in the next line. Then after that, when you put your responsibility is now kind of matched with the other lines. I didn't even see it until when I look at it. So make sure you bring that down so that it's kind of obvious anyway. So yeah, I think there are a lot of buzzwords. I can say gap analysis as is to be, which I think is really, really good actually. So I would say if you can add a few more on your responsibility, that would be good. Maybe let's say 2 or 3 that would do for me as anyway. So then the next row, okay. So you've added your project at the top, which I'm going to believe that is it, which is fine anyway. So the second thing that you want to add to that row for the first row is your skill, actually. Like I said, if you add that, your tools or skill that you use would appear in your responsibility, would also appear in the tools section of that particular row, would also appear in the your profile page at the top. So that's like 3 places. So, and sometimes it makes your CV to be rich anyway, if you can do that. So that would be good. So this, okay, all right. So the next one, right? So the next row, okay, that is the name of the company anyway. So, and so you not mention what you do on that particular row, which is fine. Prepare, project, blah, blah. So, which I think, but what I would want you to bring out more is those rows that is a bit similar or related to BA if you can anyway. So that will really be good. Okay. And okay, all right. So the next one are not kind of related to what I want to review anyway, but yeah, make those corrections and that will be it. So, okay, the next person, your email also starts with A and your postcode ends with 4BA and your telephone number ends with 403. And okay. So your profile could be improved. Actually, you only put 2 lines, and I think you need to do more. Your skill set also is just kind of basic. I think you need to do more on that. And even this particular role, it's not IT-related CV, so I'm looking for IT-related. This still need a bit of work, maybe just a starting point, but well done. So, but yeah, you still need to do more on this one anyway. So based on feedback I gave to other people, so you can know what you need to do. The next person, right? Your email ends starts with A and ends with U and is a gmail.com email address. And your telephone number ends with 900. Your postcode ends with 4FP. And is a Gmail email address. Your telephone number ends with 900. Then postcode ends with 4FP. So I can see that you put a lot of details in the professional summary, which is good. And yeah. And okay, and the address, the telephone number. So one thing I want to say, you've put all your names, so I don't totally agree to that, to be honest. And yeah, so let me ask, I think, yeah, I don't totally agree to that. So you need to, yeah, I would say use the middle name, okay? Use the middle name, leave the first name, use the middle name and your last name. I think that would do. So you don't need all the three anyway. So yeah, so that's what I can say. So okay, and talking about the experience, though I will have said that you should bring your education to the top, to be honest, if you can. Even the fact that you've kind of, yeah, done something related to your role, no, yeah. So with MSc, blah, blah, yeah, test and management, measurements anyway. So they will look at it and say, oh, this is, yeah. So, and so bring those to the top if you can. So then also, don't put Blue Sky as part of education. So we don't normally call ourselves education anyway. So yeah, you remove Blue Sky out completely from there. So because even you got Blue Sky even in the as part of your job profile anyway. So just remove Blue Sky from the education. So and bring the skills and everything. If you can bring it to the top, okay. So personal skills and technical skill. I think that is really, really good as well. So well done on that one. So okay, now I'm going to jump back to the responsibilities, if that's okay. So yeah, software, okay, so the role is there, the company and the date, that's fine. Then you put the responsibility, collaboration, blah, blah. So, that is good, that is good, that is good. So yeah, I think the responsibilities they're good as well. And also, yeah, well done. And you put the project as well, so which is brilliant. And you even put achievement as well, so which I think is good. So well done for that. So, and so one thing that in your next role, you need to actually look into that, because it's possible it might be examining or testing. You need to bring that out. Do you get it now? So senior test officer, do you get it now? So if you put like that, and then you bring the one that are related to testing, do you get it now? Organizing interviews, a tester will do that. So also, let me collecting user feedback and everything, yeah, and analyzing and reporting, yeah. So you need to now look into that. You know what a tester should do, and I know some of your role that you've done in this particular role is related to some quality assurance and everything. So you need to bring that one out actually. So if you can look into that, yeah. So that will be good, yeah. That of course, like conducting thorough testing of the registration and everything. So I think that's what you need to bring out. So you can merge the two roles together that you put on that particular role. You merge them together, but then only look at bring out the one that related to the role that you're looking for anyway. So yeah, so this one is okay. Area manager, that one is fine. You can leave that, but then you can now bring what you did on that particular one. So that is good. So, okay. So that is this, make those changes. I think, yeah, that CV is good anyway. So, okay. So the next person, your email starts with A and it ends with U, and it's a Gmail email address. Your telephone number ends with 469. Your telephone number ends with 469. And your Gmail email address ends with U, it starts with A. Okay. This is not an IT CV, and to be honest, there's still a bit of work as well, even if I have to review anyway. So I'm going to pass on this. So you need to kind of do this more, or we're still going to have other session anyway. So And yeah, so this is not yet there, if I may say, actually. Okay. Okay. All right, cool. I'm going to go to the next person. So the next person, yeah, your email starts with A and ends with O. Right. Your telephone number is 276 and your email is a ac.uk email address anyway. So, okay, one thing I can say, your name, I think I would say, though, yeah, use the simple name that people call you, right? Not the full name, actually, if that makes sense. You know what I'm talking about. So at least if I were to call you, I may not call you that full name. I might call you a shortened version of that name. Anyway, so I would do advise you, don't you, because you're using a school email address, don't use that anyway. So because even after you finish your school, right? So what happens? Some people can want to contact you or reach you actually. So you need, if you can do that, use a generic email address that's not to school. But aside from that, I think the rest is not IT related. I think I can see that. Okay. So you need to, well, it's a good start. Even though I don't really support column-based CV, but it's tidy, okay. But I would say that maybe you should bring the start one. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, maybe bring education to the top or whatever you want anyway. So that would be good. But one thing is the date format, I really don't like it as well anyway. So it's better to say September 2011 than saying 2011-09. So that is a bit confusing anyway. But the CV still need a bit of updates. Yeah. Okay, I move on to the next person. So your telephone number ends with 111. That's 111. And your postcode ends with 4XG. Okay. Your email starts with B and then ends with S. It's a Yahoo email address. Yahoo email address starting with B, ends with S, and your postcode ends with 4XG. Okay. And the format is good, but one thing, bear in mind, the name that you put there is already kind of slipped into the next one. So look into that. I like the format. I like what you put in there. So, and also the profile looks good as well. So, but look at your name. If you can, yeah, let it be on one line. It's not on one line, it's on two lines anyway now. So I like the fact that you put the technical skills in bullet points and it's in 3 columns, which is good. And the soft skills as well done. So education and qualifications, so that is good. Okay. I'm not sure that whether you need the GCE inside anyway. So, but yeah, it's not that it's bad, but I can leave it for now. So okay. All right. The next one. All right. So I think the responsibility looks good actually. So which I think you are kind of ready. So, but the only thing I can say, right, the name of the company, the date, and this role, let them be in one line actually. So you put them in 3 lines. Let them be on one line. So the same thing applies to the first line, to the first row, and as well as the second row. Okay. The project, well, which I think is fine, just we put the project right, and then the name of the project, let it start in the next line. Okay. Let it start in the next line. And it should not be, everything should not be bolding. Okay. So I think you kind of put them in bold. And but okay, working blah blah with so, but what exactly you can put more details in that on that particular project, what that project is anyway. So okay, all right. So I think responsibility for the next one also is good as well. But yeah, I think it's fine. So you can, to be honest, you can start sending this CV out. Just made those changes, most especially the name of the company and the date should be on one line. Then if you can also add the tools to each of the rows, that would be good as well. So the only thing I want you to look into when you start to apply is the role that you have on in January 2020, yeah, compared to the one after it is kind of like a senior role compared to the first. They might ask you, why having done this particular role, why do you want to do this particular role again? So, but it's not that it's not possible. It's possible. It's but you need to beware. That question can come up anyway. So, but yeah. So well done. This is good. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. So the next person, your telephone number ends with 622, and I'm not on D now. So your email address starts with D, and then it's a Gmail, excuse me. It's a Gmail email address. It's a gmail.com email address, and your telephone number, ends with 622. So profile, the profile looks good as well. So I can see some of the tools that you used in there and also how you explain. So which I think is good. So experience, okay, you put the role. So one thing I can say, your role analyst actually should be capital A. The analyst should be capital A, if that's fine. So I think that is fine. So the duration of the role, you only put the year. So normally you put the year and the month. So if you can add the month, that would be good. Okay. So normally after that line, when you put the role, the company, and the duration, I would start next line. I would just add responsibilities, but it's not a showstopper anyway. So which I think you can leave it like that anyway. So okay. Yeah, I think it looks okay to me. But the only thing is like, on your profile, you need to add your skills to your profile, if that's fine. I would kind of bring the education and the certification to the top anyway, but if you put where it is, that also is good as well. No problem. But the skills that you end on the tools, I would want to see them. It's not, I can, it's only appearing in your responsibility, but I would say that you also need to kind of say skills that use like a snapshot of those skills as well, or tools that you've used anyway. So if that's fine. All right, so moving on to the next person. So your postcode ends with 9NF, 9NF. Your postcode ends with 9NF. Your telephone number ends with 765. And your email starts with your email starts with D, rather. Your email starts with D, and it's a Gmail account as well. It's a Gmail account. Okay. I like what you've written your header, which I think is good, right? So, but I would say that you might need a new template for this. It seems is a bit all over the place, but I would review the content. Okay. So in there, which I think is okay. So the profile, blah, blah. so quickly. Okay. So reading your profile, I found out, yes, for it, let's say if I'm a IT person or a recruiter looking for someone to hire for a role in IT, having read it, I was like, okay, this is now I'm looking for. Do you know what I did instantly? I went down to see your experience and I found out, yeah, this is not an IT related role anyway. So yeah, so you might need to look into that. So this is now, yeah, IT related role. But I think I would say that in terms of content, you seem to be someone that knows how to write a good CV anyway. So once you start, you know what to put in there anyway. So, but look for a new template. This template, it would not do you good when you start to, yeah, do your CV. Okay. The next person, okay, well done for adding the logo for the PCI one, right? So this person, your telephone number ends with 82832 and okay, it did not put any postcode. It just says you put the name of the, okay, yeah, your email starts with E and ends with S. E and ends with a Gmail, is a Gmail email address. So, but of course, something that you need to, yeah, you add the logo, PSM logo on your CV, which I think is nice anyway. So, okay. So, and in time or in your title, you put Nigerian authorized to work in the UK on a ski work type. I would say that, yeah, that would not, yeah, make your CV to stand out, because with this, what you're saying is, yeah, some people might not even know that with on a ski worker tier 2 dependent visa, they might not even know that you don't require authorization to get it now by putting that. Even I was a bit confused before I kind of read it again. So I would say that you just say authorization do not require sponsorship. Do you get it now? Because with the kind of visa that you have, you don't require sponsorship to be able to work in the UK. So you just need to make that plain. No, you don't need to put Nigerian. Just put authorization to work in the UK, then colon, do not require sponsorship. Yeah. So I think that's what you need to put in there. Profile is good, is a starting point, but I think I would expect you to add more, right? At least add maybe 4 lines more, if that's okay. So then you went to the skis. So I think it's good. I like how you laid it out. Actually, is brilliant. Okay. So which I think is fine. But I'm gonna think maybe there's other one that you could add as well. So yeah, so that's fine. Certification, that is good. And so after that, you now move the education to the bottom. So I would say that you should put the education after the certification, if that's okay. So yeah, bring that in together. Ayodeji, can you take off your camera, please? Thank you. Okay. All right, cool. So now let's go through this again for this particular person. So like I'm seeing on this particular person, your telephone number ends with 832. Okay. And okay, the responsibility looks good. But however, right, say work, this is, I always say this at, yeah, I always say this at the beginning of the internship and at the end of the internship. I think maybe, I'm not sure that you are listening, or yeah. So you said you work with 3 Scrum Masters in coaching a Scrum team, compose or blah, blah, and tester. So you won't be working with 3 Scrum Masters in a team. It's going to be only you as a Scrum Master. So you need to look into that. So yeah, I think you need to look at what's the composition of a team on an agile team. So yeah, please, you need to remove that out. I don't think it's good on what you wrote there. Okay, so then I would say that you need to work more on the responsibility for the first role, right? Then put the project, put the So then on the second row, I don't know why you are putting slash blah blah in there. So I don't think you need that in there, to be honest. So yeah, and also if you can write a brief description about the company that you work for immediately after the name of the company, that would really be good. Anyway, so so I would say the requirements, you should have like at least 10 requirements added anyway. So okay, the next person, your postcode ends with 5HA, your telephone number ends with 983, right? Your email address starts with F and end with 6. You have a gmail.com email address. Yeah. So if you can be muted, please. Someone is talking. Can you be muted, please? Thank you. And judges as well, please. Judges, can you be muted? Thank you. Okay. So the next person, like I said, you've got email starting with F and ends with 6 is a gmail.com email address, and your telephone number ends with 983. Your postcode ends with 5HA. Okay, so one thing I can say, the header is good, but I think you might need to kind of make it a bit, maybe closer together, like maybe where your email address and your name is. But as long as you got everything in one page, that's fine. It's no issue. You can leave it as it is. Your profile, I know you can do better, to be honest, on this one, right? So try to expand the profile. Within, I would say 10 minutes, you can do more to add more to that one anyway. So technical skills, that is good. Languages, soft skills, that's fine. So let your education be on one page with the profile, if that's okay. So it's moving to the next page. So I think it's good. Then experience, okay. Okay. So responsibilities, I think you should not put it in capital letter. That's fine. So if you put in lowercase, that would be good. And its responsibilities it should be in plural. So, and projects as well, which I think is good. And you put the tools there. On the tools, right, I would say that you can put them in comma, okay, so that you don't put them in bullets like that, okay, so that just comma, so it's only on one line. So, but well done, this is good. I like that part anyway. I like the role, how you laid out your role, the name of the company, the responsibility is also good as well. And then after that, you put the project that you worked on, and then you put the tools. Brilliant. I love that. Well done. So then the next one, right? So which I think is just a skeletal one anyway. So, but the one that you did with this one is okay. Well done. So going to the next one, right? This person, there's no email, there's nothing at all. So I'm going to skip it anyway. There's no how I'm going to identify your name. and you did not put name, you did not put email address, you don't put anything. So I'm going to skip that anyway. Okay, so the next person, your telephone number ends with 831, and your email address starts with J and ends with N, is an hotmail.com email address, hotmail.com email address. So yeah, okay. And your postcode ends with 2LP. Okay. And yeah, okay. So I think you should remove the nationality Nigeria. So remove it completely. I don't think you need it. Right to work in the UK, semicolon, do not require authorization or permit. That is brilliant. Well done. That's good. So okay. So profile, yeah, I am blah blah blah, yeah, which I think is good. Yeah, well done. Dedicated to the regime. Okay, well done. So I think, yeah, the profile looks okay, and the technical skills are good. System development lifecycle tools, soft tools. Yeah, in the soft tools, you've got the first line, it's just a dot. You need to remove that first line anyway. So, which I think is good. So then the system development, blah, blah, that you put in there. So MS Office tools. So I think what you can put them in one line rather than putting them in 3 lines, if that's okay. So education, yeah, bring that education down a bit so that, yeah, because it's just kind of, yeah, choked with the line above. So just put a little space. So yeah. BSc, blah, blah, BTech, okay. Okay, all right, that is good. So then talking about the experience, okay. So in terms of the experience, right? So the role, I don't know why you put, yeah, because you are actually having a data related, data related responsibility, but your title doesn't actually match. So look into that. I like the fact that you kind of, yeah, you've written about what the company is about and everything, which is good. Yeah. So then your responsibility, actually, it's what a data analyst should do, which I think is good, but the role that you put in there is not a data analyst role. So look into that. So, and then the rest one might be, so the same thing applies to the next row as well. So the title that you put in there and the responsibility is kind of like a data related responsibility. Look into that anyway. So the next one, maybe it's also the same thing as well. Yeah, just look into that anyway. So, well, I think you got a lot of content there, which I think is good. So the next person, you've got your email starting with J and ends with M. It ends with M. Give me 1 minute, please. Your email ends with M and your telephone number ends with 667. So you've got postcode ending with 4DE. Okay. Okay, so nationality, I think you should remove it. Okay, I like the fact that you put the Tableau public URL there, which I think is good, so people can just click on and check, which is brilliant. So, but remove the nationality, it doesn't do anything to you, to be honest. So, and then of the profile, I think you can you can increase that actually, 4 lines. You can maybe add more, maybe 3 more lines actually. So that's fine. So talking about technical skills, you kind of, yeah, you got system development, blah, blah, which is fine. But the bullet point is not properly indented. Actually, it's all over the place. Oh, yeah, even throughout, actually. So you need to look into that anyway. So, but I think there are a lot of things that you put in there, which I think is good. So try to put them in columns so that they do not go to the next line. So you want to put everything up to education and award into the first line, into the first page rather, okay? So you need to put that in there. So, okay, so now, yeah, so this is not an IT related CV. So, but I think the template of CV is good anyway. So, which I think is fine. So once you started doing the IT CV is good. Yeah, okay, but you put it Tableau, but yeah, your experience, it doesn't actually, yeah, it's not in line with what you're looking for anyway. Okay, next person, your email starts with J and ends with 4. It's a gmail.com email address. So, and okay, and your telephone number ends with 4755, 4755. Okay, profile is good, to be honest. That your profile is brilliant, actually. Well done. It's really, really brilliant. So I can, to be honest, like, I really want to know more about you, right? That's what he's telling me anyway. So which is, you've actually captured people by what you put in there. So, but one thing I can say, your area of expertise, right? So indentation, move it inside a bit, if that's okay. So, and in, like I said, your education, maybe you should bring it up as well if you can, if you want to do that. So then it means your professional experience can start on the first line. So, which is good. Okay. So, okay, your, okay. So I think the responsibilities are also good as well, to be honest. So well done for that. So yeah. So, and one thing, like I said, you need to put describe the name, describe the company actually, and also add the projects and add the skills as well. So, and the tools that are used on each of the projects. So that would really, really be good. So if you can do that. Another thing that you also want to do as well, so when you write your name of your company, remove the town and country. For instance, you put Ibadan, Nigeria. So you don't need to put that in there, to be honest. So when they ask you where is it, you can say it's in Nigeria, but just remove it. Yeah. So, and yeah, so which I think is fine. And also, yeah, you also put blah blah Nigeria Limited, United Kingdom. I don't know what that is anyway. So please look into that as well. So that is really, really confusing anyway. So okay, except from that, I think it looks good. Yeah. So the next person, your email starts with J and ends with O. It's a yahoo.com email address, and your telephone number ends with 048. 048. Your postcode, I think, would contain M27 anyway. So whatever that is. Okay. Okay, so again, this is not a this thing is a bit of work anyway, so you need to look into that. One is not even yeah, I would say please do watch my video anyway, so this needs some work. Okay, the next person, your email starts with L and end with 6, is a yahoo.co.uk email address, and your postcode ends with 5SP, right? And this person, you did not even put telephone number. Actually, that's is going to be the first review. You need a telephone number in there. Yeah, you need to work on this CV. This CV is not actually, yeah. You need to watch the video I did. Actually, it doesn't actually follow any of the formats I did. Oh, you need to do it all over. Okay. So yeah, the next person, your okay. All right, maybe I should quickly go back. Okay, quickly, I want to go back to someone, your telephone number ends with 755, 755, 755, quickly. So 755, and your email starts with J and ends with E. I'm just going back quickly. Look into the name. Look into the name. I think that name looks long. If you want, I think that might be a bit difficult for Caucasian to pronounce anyway. So just my view anyway, if you want to. Okay, the next CV. Okay, your email address starts with M and ends with R, is a yahoo.com email address. Your telephone number ends with 527, right? And your postcode ends with 1FN, right? So I think the template seems okay, right? But the content is not actually, right? So you still need a bit of content. So there's some part of it that are good. You kind of got, yeah, career objective, you know what is, yeah, you know what you're looking for. But yeah, I think even the content is sometimes in the UK, you don't put sex, you don't put male, you don't put whether you're married, you don't put date of birth, you don't put local government, but this is not anyway. So yeah, so you need to kind of watch my videos anyways. Yeah. So the next person, I know I've got, yeah, if you can bear with me, I still got a few to go through. So this person, to be honest, there's no email address, there's no telephone number, there's no email, nothing at all. Okay, all right. So I think it's kind of at the bottom, right? That's weird, actually. So I think what I can see at the bottom, you've got email address starting with M and ends with S. It's a gmail.com email address, and your telephone number ends with 550. Where you put your telephone number and your email address is not the best place at all, and even the name is not kind of a bit, yeah, highlighted. So, and yeah. So in the UK, I'm going to believe that you put your surname first and then you put your uh, first name last. Actually, in the UK, you start with your first name, then last name. So look into that. So, and if what I'm thinking is right, so your first name also look into that. I think watch my video, you get insight into that. So this needs a bit of work actually. So you need to sit down with it anyway. Okay. Uh, this is another one as well. So it still need a bit of work as well. Okay, it's getting better. Right, okay. Okay, all right, cool. So now this person, your email, right? Your email starts with O, right? And ends with E. It's a gmail.com email address, okay? And your postcode ends with HJS, right? One thing I can say, you need to change the template, right? The template does not actually do justice to the CV. Have a new template. For instance, your name is not that pronounced on the CV, right? So, and the title is not really also pronounced. Have a new template, get a new template, and you need to look into your profile as well. Do you get it now? You need to rewrite the profile and also look into that as well. So yeah, profile needs a bit of work. Yeah. Then the technical skills and the soft skills. Technical skills are good, then soft skills are good as well. So education, that is fine. If you can put that in English, that would be good anyway. So, okay, certification, yeah, all those certification as well. If you can, I think you assume that everyone knows what that is, probably. So anyway, but I know there's PCM one, but SSL, what was that anyway? So you might need to look into that if you can put the full meaning and then put the acronym in brackets. That would be good anyway. So in terms of the experience, right? So is good. So the layout is good. Actually, if it's the name of the company, remove the country actually. So it that's fine based on my discussion with you. Just put the name of the company, remove the country and the roles and the date. In terms of the duration, you need to start with the month, yeah, and the year. Okay. So if it's up to 2023, just say it present anyway. So then, yeah, put the description, which I think is good. You can maybe you might need to, yeah, I think is okay, right? So yeah, it's fine. Then responsibilities. So there are a lot of buzzwords that I'm looking for, right? The wordings are good, but buzzwords are still missing, right? So in that responsibilities, okay? So you need to look at those buzzwords, what you did and everything, the tools that you use, and those terminologies that you've kind of used as well anyway, which I think you need to put in there. So project, which is good anyway, so that's fine. Tools use it, okay. Now, in the tools that you've actually put tools use, which is brilliant. Then what I want you to do now to write a part of your responsibility, mentioning those tools within its responsibility, that if you can do that anyway. So, and the next one is also brilliant as well. You put the descriptions, responsibility, just work on responsibility a bit more. I think you've got what it takes. You got everything that is needed, to be honest. So just a little tweak and use a different template. Don't use this one. This one does not actually do justice to your CV. Okay, so the next person, your emails start with O and then ends with A, is a gmail.com email address. Then your telephone number ends with 858. So in time of the experience, okay. Okay, I think this is good. The only thing I can say, the name of the company on the first row, can you, yeah, describe the company, which I think, yeah, if you can do that, so that would be good. Technical skills, yeah, it should be punchy, right? So in the technical skills, I think there are a lot of words in there. So you need to look at, yeah, how to make them neater to represent anyway, but it's good, but it can be better, to be honest. So yeah, So, but the responsibilities are okay, are good. I can see the lot of buzzwords in there, the lot of things that you put in there. So, which I think is really, really good. Well done for that. So, and if you can then add you put your major achievements. So if you put the tools that you used and as well as a project that you worked on, that would be good. Yeah. So, okay. So the next one is not IT based anyway, so I'm going to skip that. Okay, I think the next one is not IT based, but look into that. And I felt that there might be something that related to your present role that you can bring out in that part, in those particular roles, actually, even with fact that that company is related to, yeah, or it's an IT company, yeah, you can look into that as well. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. I think you need to look into that one. Yeah. Okay. I think this is the same one. Okay. All right. So the next one, right? Your telephone number ends with 838, and your email starts with O, and then it ends with A, right? It's a Gmail. It's a Gmail. So your telephone number ends with 838. Talking about the email, this email is too long. It's too long. You combined your name, your other name, your former name. It's too long. Please, if you, because yeah, this is easy for people to get wrong when they're typing it. To get it down. Use email that is a bit short. I would say 8 letter words or 10 marks. This is almost like 20 anyway, so it's too long. Yeah. So okay, if you can, the professional summary. Well, it's okay, to be honest. Professional summary is fine. Education and qualification is okay. Okay. Okay, when you talk about the technical skills, I would say remove additional skills, remove the rows in those columns that you put in there. Row. I'm talking about just leave it technical skills. Don't say technical skill, additional skills, and row. Technical skills and leave it. What you put at the bottom is okay. The same way you've done for the core skills, just do the same thing as technical skills. And yeah, so I think that's how I would go about this one anyway. So if that's fine. So put some spaces actually. So yeah, it seems that you just kind of model everything together. Even for instance, education and qualification, you just put a space, and the same way the technical space, technical skills, put some spaces as well on core skills, and yeah. So experience, Scrum Master, okay. Okay, so the responsibilities for the scrum, the roles is good anyway. I don't have issues with that. But what I can say is like if you look into your tools, because it's kind of just plain high level, yeah, which is good. But you need to now put the tools, the skills inside. It's kind of just like normal words, layman language anyway. So you need to put those buzzwords inside those terminologies anyway. So the next one are not kind of IT roles anyway, so I'm going to skip that. So, okay. So going to the next one. So your email address starts with O and ends with 6 is an outlook.com email address. Your telephone number ends with 576 576. Yeah, the profile looks good, actually. That's fine. But I don't know why you didn't put your address anyway. It's left for you anyway. So, okay. The profile is good. Technical skills, okay, that also is good. Soft skills, good. Anyway, so career history, okay. So this is the role doesn't, yeah, in the key contributions, it's got some data analyst role and everything, but the role that you put at the top, that maybe that was a mistake or something. So you need to look into that anyway. So yeah, I will skip on that one. Yeah. So the next person, your email address starts with O and ends with I, is a gmail.com email address. So okay. Okay, yeah, the telephone, the profile looks okay. And the tools that you've used, I think you need to align it with the technical skills and soft skills. So it's not properly aligned. Okay. So the education is brilliant, actually. So that's fine. Yeah, you can work more on this one anyway. Yeah, you can work more on the responsibility. Is a bit scanty actually, but it's not that it's totally bad anyway. So what I can say, okay, if you put more details in, right, and you also spelled February wrong anyway, so you need to correct that. So and yeah, put some description about the company that you used on the first row, then add your project that you've spent, you worked on, and also put the skills. So that's what I can say on this particular one. Yeah. Okay, even added the project to the bottom, but let it be on that particular row anyway. So next person, your CV, next person, your postcode rather ends with 2SL, right? So, and your telephone number ends with 3232323. Yeah, I like how you actually put your nationality, which is good. Well done. So, okay. And another thing, your address, you wrote everything in capital letter. I don't think you need to do that. So let it be in low level. Profile, the spelling is wrong. Okay, so you need to correct that. So, but I would say that you need to look for a different template. This CV is all over the place, actually. Yeah. So yeah, then also even the experience is not IT as well anyway. So, and even the template is not actually. So yeah, I'm gonna skip the rest. This is also the same thing. Okay, so the next person, your telephone number ends with 870 870. Your email starts with S and end with 2. It's a gmail.com email address. Okay, telephone number ends with 870. Your email starts with S and ends with 2 and is a gmail.com email address. Okay. And profile summary, I think it's good, but I wanted to say it's too long, actually, to be honest. Yeah, it's too long. Make it 2 paragraphs, right? So if you can, right, make it 2 paragraphs. So yeah, sometimes it's a shame to lose some of the content that you put in there. But Okay. If you can make it two paragraph, make it two paragraphs anyway. So, but if not, you can leave it. So, but one thing I would prefer you do is, yeah, I think it's too long, but you can play with the header actually, right? Reduce the the header. When I talk about the header, I mean the space, the margin at the top, right? So that you move your header where your name is to the a bit to the the space you have in the middle anyways, you mean, yeah. And also even the footer, you can reduce the footer as well so that, yeah, you've got some spaces, or even all those margin on the left and on the right. So, but I think your profile, you should just use two paragraphs. That will be fine. Then after that, so maybe another thing, I think is line spacing as well. The line spacing is like, double line spacing or 1.2, make it only single line space as well. So the core competence are good, a lot of detail, a lot of, yeah. So, and also make sure that there's no double space so that everything can fit into that particular page anyway. So in terms of the rows, okay. So yeah, so you also put January, blah, blah, to present. So, and the present is not showing. You need to look into that, why that is not showing. So responsibility, okay, looks good. But yeah, like I said, I think you need to, you don't need to make it to line spacing. Yes. Okay, so the next row, I think, just remove the location, okay? The next row, remove the location, okay? And then do the same thing, okay? So for that one as well, I like, okay. If you can put the project as well, that would be good. But I think you got a lot of things there. So just a bit of restructuring, then you are good. The title, the third row that you have in there for prime class, the duration is not showing. Then 2000, yeah, I don't even know what that is after that because it's cut off anyway. So I think you just look into that. Yeah, most especially remove the on double spacing anyway, so that would be good anyway. But well done, yeah. So this person, another person, your telephone number ends with 90469046. Your email starts with U and ends with F. It's a Gmail email address. Oh, there's nothing inside actually. So there's nothing, just put SPN. So I'll skip that. Okay, I think that's all. That's all. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for the patience. So that is it. So allow me if you can kind of stop the recording if it's fine. Let's see if I can stop myself. That's right. Okay. All right.